Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 22 shows us that Boruto has basically no chance against Jura. His strongest jutsu, Rasengan Uzehiko, didn't do anything to Jura. He took it and then he nullified it, canceled it out, and now Boruto is like, darn it, now I'm running short on options. What else can I do? And there is basically, he has a couple of jutsus that could help him out, but there's only really one thing that could truly get his full power out there. And it comes at a consequence. And the only thing that I can think of is his karma. And because of his karma, if he activates it, Momoshiki will come out. He'll possess Boruto's body, essentially. And so it got me wondering, what if next chapter, just very briefly, alright? Let's say Boruto has an opportunity to let Momoshiki out for a little bit and then possibly take back over, alright? Desperate times calling for desperate measures. What if we got Borushiki versus Jura? Now, it's a little bit here and there. It's kind of wishy-washy depending on certain things, right? Depending on if Boruto could actually come back or no, suppress Momoshiki again. But Momoshiki, with Boruto's full arsenal of jutsu, strength, chakra, all of it combined, makes him a real threat, a real menace. And I don't know if Momoshiki really sees the divine trees as a threat. He probably more so wants to use them than anything else. Possibly to sacrifice Kawaki more than anything else. But let's just say, for all intents and purposes, they're trying to kill Boruto and thus Momoshiki. So Momoshiki will kill them before they can kill him. That's what I'm basing this off of. So what does Momoshiki have? What can Momoshiki do to really defeat these things? Well, with his karma activated, Boruto does get a boost in his strength and overall speed and everything else. And we've seen what he's been able to do in 12-year-old Boruto. Now in 15, almost 16, however old he is. Boruto, after training, it's more than likely that Momoshiki is going to destroy Jura or figure out some way to really, really hurt him. And I think with access to Boruto's, I don't know if he'll awaken the Jogan or maybe, something like that, but it's definitely a possibility, you know what I mean? I just have a good feeling about, if Momoshiki revives or comes back in Boruto's body, he's going to be the one to basically activate or open Boruto's right eye to reveal the other eye that he has and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I am interested to see Borushiki, or basically Momoshiki, in Boruto's body against Jura. What kind of conversation they would basically have, or how Momoshiki would use Boruto's jutsus and stuff. I think that he would also use a Rasengan or a Rasengan bullet again. Possibly a vanishing Rasengan he would most likely use. It just would be so cool to see Momoshiki come back and take on Jura. It's probably the best chance they have at beating Jura, other than Boruto basically controlling his karma and getting rid of Momoshiki forever. But you know what I mean. I think that Momoshiki would... It's kind of up in the air right now, you know what I mean? Rasengan Uzehiko didn't work, so I don't know how much greater damage Momoshiki could do, but with the strength of the karma boosting him and all of his combat experience and knowledge, he's definitely a huge threat. We also haven't seen all that Jura can do. I think we've basically seen him use just the Biju bombs as his main primary attack, you know what I mean? So what other things can he really do? What else can he learn or practice or attack with? We'll have to see. But overall, I want to think about Borushiki versus Jura. I think Borushiki beats Jura. I don't know by how much. Maybe they'll be equally leveled. It depends on certain factors, like if Boruto is maybe holding Momoshiki back, kind of like he did before, like he wakes up and he's trying to suppress Momoshiki again. Will that hinder their attack and whatnot? So, and even if Borushiki did defeat Jura, right? Let's just say that's a big if. Would Momoshiki then possess his body afterwards? There's too many risks involved with that, but it feels like the karma is his last resort or his strongest option, his best boost at defeating Jura. So Borushiki versus Jura, I give it to Borushiki just because he's just so much more amplified and so much stronger. We've seen the kind of damage he can do, but against Jura, it might be a bit of a fight, you know. It could be a little bit of a damaged attack, or it could be like a back and forth, but nothing to truly be concerned about, I guess. I guess it would more fall on what their ideologies are against each other or with each other and stuff like that. Would Momoshiki give up Kashin Koji? So, assuming that Momoshiki knows everything Boruto knows, would he tell Jura and thus get him to like, hey, yo, stop this, back off or whatever? I don't know. We'll have to see. But outside of that, them fighting one-on-one, it's definitely leaning towards Borushiki. I think he would win pretty cleanly. I think if he did like a massive Rasengan and hit Jura, it would probably really hurt him. Possibly kill him. I don't know. What even happens to Jura if he gets defeated? Does he turn into a thorn bulb as well? Or do the other Shinjus basically go down as well? It's hard to exactly tell what's gonna happen, but maybe that's the mystery. That's the thing that we're gonna learn about. But in the end, I think that if Boruto does decide to use his karma, if he thinks that that is his best chance at defeating Jura, and Borushiki or Momoshiki starts to come out a little bit, we're in for something crazy. It's going to be a crazy reveal and a crazy time to show off what Boruto or what Momoshiki can do with Boruto, you know, taking over his body. It's going to be interesting, but until chapter 23, we don't know. But Boruto still has other options. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah.